Hey guys, I had to hop over to another video because I wasn't able to log back in and to the video that I was currently because I wanted to make a phone call, a very important phone call. So I hope that you guys can hop over to my new live. I'm gonna message because I had to make an important phone call to Laura Lee about some information, um, what's been transpiring. I was having technical issues, if you will. Hi, guys. Keep coming in. I made the phone call. I talked to Laura Lee myself. So when all these other creators tell you, oh, get my stuff right from the source and I always go right to the source. Listen, sometimes you got to go to the source. Sometimes you have to go multiple places. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do when you want to get the tea. However, in situations like this, it's a great example for you guys to see that it's no problem for me to pick up my phone. I have a lot of contacts and I can get the answer to certain questions immediately, just like I did right now. So what happened was we were discussing Margaret Joseph's and we came across some things about, well, people were basically saying they thought it was a little strange that Lexi was staying there and the dynamic. And so we found an article, we started reading it, and we put together something kind of big because of everything that Laura Lee Jensen has been telling us about what has transpired between them. You know, Christmas wasn't the reason for the fight, but Christmas was the like ultimate. I know that there's no hope left for our friendship. So it's just interesting, guys, that that would be December of 2021. So we were reading this article talking about how much Margaret loves Lexi, how in 2021 she threw Lexi's 41st birthday party on Christmas Day. And she posted photos about how Lexi was her ride or die and her extended family. And as all of us were reading them, hi guys. I hope you guys were in the last chat because this is like a continued. I had to call Laura Lee Jensen because we had some questions, and that's how I roll over here on my channel. So a lot of people want to say like, oh, you know, I blah, 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 blah. No, you don't. No, you don't. So I'm glad that everyone got a chance to see that. If I need information, a lot of times I have a contact, I go right to the contact. So we had a question about the dates on when everything transpired between Margaret and Laura Lee. And so I put my you guys wanted me to call. Everyone said call, call. So I put my live on hold and I picked up the phone and I called her and she answered. So that's how I rolled over here. That's why you guys need to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on because I bring all of my tea to my subscribers on Instagram first because I feel like you guys deserve it the most. I love you guys. You're always so supportive. You guys have such great input. Everyone has a spot at the table here. It doesn't matter who your queen is. Like, as long as you can relay your comments and your thoughts and your opinions respectfully, then you are welcome. And this is the place to be because I just talked to Laura Lee Jensen. So I'm just giving people, there was about 90 people in the other room. I just want to let them know where we're at. So hopefully they see where we are. And they make their way over here. Yes, guys, come on, hit the like button. Like I said, I just literally stopped my live to call Laura Lee Jensen for you guys. So let's backtrack a little bit. We're gonna go back to what we were talking about. We were discussing the dinner between Margaret Sr. and Lexi's mother, and the dynamic that we're seeing between Lexi and Joe and living in their home and their child and all of this, right? So it people want to know, where's Lexi from? Where's her accent from, right? Oh, Crystal. I love Crystal. Yes, here I am. I finally stopped waiting for you to come back since everyone kept saying you were. I tried to go in the chat to tell them that I started a new video and I didn't know how to do that. I thought I was doing that, but nobody must be seeing it. I'm going to put another one in. It's like you can't go back into a live once you're in a live if you're like the creator of it. So hopefully they made their way or got a notification. And great, guys, this is another reason why have your notifications on. I don't just say that to say it. I say it because a lot of times tea comes and I want to give it to you guys first. I want it to be hot. I don't want to serve you cold tea. Nobody wants that. We want hot tea over here. So you got to have your notifications on so that you're ready. Anyways, we were discussing Lexi. Where's Lexi's from? Where's her accent from? What do you guys think? What is this accent she has, right? People said, where is Dina's daughter, Lexi? So this is not the same Lexi. Dina Manzo does have a daughter named Lexi, but the Lexi that works for Margaret is not the same Lexi. So a lot of people say, like, what is her accent? And she has a British accent because she studied in England, allegedly, for like a couple of years. I don't know how many years, like 10 years maybe. And so she picked up on an accent. But it was a little strange because the mother doesn't seem to have the same accent, you know? Let's see here. Isn't Lexi from England? No, see, that's what we were talking about, Blooming Child. She's not. She's from New Jersey. She studied in England for I don't know how many years, and that's what we're going to talk about. I'll go back a little bit just to get everyone caught up, okay? So, we're talking about Lexi and who she is and what is she about, right? We see her with Margaret all the time. And Margaret basically says, she has a tight-knit circle of friends and family. And it says Lexi began working for Margaret in 2008 as the director of marketing on her brand, the Macbeth. That's the one that got sued for stealing somebody else's emblem, allegedly. Then she studied fashion design at Leeds Art University in England before joining Margaret's business in 2008. Eventually, Margaret promotes her to creative director. And she's also her co-host on the podcast Caviar Dreams and a Tuna Fish Budget. A lot of people say that the Lexi doll RHONJ appearance probably refers to Margaret's creative director, but for some fans, that's a bit of a stretch. While Lexi doll does contribute to her boss's projects, viewers have claimed she doesn't do anything that warrants a creative director title and despise seeing her called that almost as much as despise her British accent. This is a comment. 100%. My question is this: what is Lexi's role as a creative director? Because it looked to me a lot like she did a lot of fetching for the ladies, which is more of an assistant thing than a creative director. Another person commented, her accent is most insane. This is where it gets interesting. This is why I had to call Laura Lee live from my phone. But I was recording from my phone, so I had to go to my Chromebook, and that got a little bit messy. But because my subscribers were like, call Laura, I was like, okay, I'll call her. Because I do have contacts like everyone else. I just don't like to go on my show and brag about all of my contacts. I just bring you guys the tea from the contacts because who cares really as long as the contacts are legit? Like, isn't that my job to kind of screen the contacts? Like, I screen the people that give me information. And if I feel like it's legit, I use it. And if I don't, I don't. I don't just take every single piece of information that gets sent to me. Isn't that my job to kind of like screen it for you guys, find some receipts, do a little bit of digging? That's my part. Not every single source is going to come to you with every single part of it being true. Everyone has their own effing narrative. So just saying, we don't have to come on here and be like, oh my God, my source. Sorry, that was a little bit of a rant, but I'm going to stop now. Anyways, this is why we had to call Laura Lee live, why I had to call Laura Lee. So when we talked about Laura Lee and Margaret's fallout, right? It was not just about Christmas Day. It was because there had been two interviews, with Laura and producers, and the animosity she started to feel between Margaret about the interviews and the show started to have her take a step back to like examine their relationship and try to figure out what was going on. She also explained, and I told you guys this before, she Laura also was like not to be included in a lot of events that included the housewives, and she did her best to try to keep a distance between Laura and the housewives, even so much as like she didn't want Laura to take photos with them. Like, even if they were like at an event that wasn't a housewives event, she like simply did not want Laura to be in photos, group photos, nothing. She really wanted to kind of keep Laura off to the side because I think she probably saw her as some sort of a threat. Obviously, it's her lifelong friend. Laura's pretty, she has money, she's funny, she's very, very endearing, and she probably would make a, she could definitely give her a season to try her out. There would be no reason not to. And I just think that Margaret was so threatened by that for some reason. Probably because Margaret, I think, really finds validation in herself and the things that she knows about people, because that gives her a sense of like power or a sense of like status. Like, for me personally, I love to fly under the radar. Like, I just want to get by. I don't need to, I just want to fly real smooth, no problems, no bumps. And I feel like Margaret more so is like so much on the defense with everything in her life that she feels like she needs to have something ready on everyone in case they come at her. So she already prepares for the fact that there will be a confrontation, as if she either thinks everyone coming at her is in a confrontational way, or she is just so confrontational that everything turns into a big fight when it pertains to her. I don't know if you guys are following me here or not. However, my point being is Margaret started to not like and support the fact that her friend got an interview with producers for Real Housewives. And I think this really probably opened her friend Laura's eyes, because if you have a best friend from your whole childhood and they want to try out for a show, and maybe you're like, like, the best example I could give of this is like I had a daughter, and then my cousin's wife got pregnant like a year later and had a daughter. And so like I was like, oh, but in that situation, it's like, Margaret, like, you got to get your life together. You can't, you can't be doing this with these women, right? She had like three different assistants. I think the one assistant ended up back in Canada. That is where all of that text message originated from, which we haven't heard anything about it on the show, which is slightly disappointing. Hi, Angel Eyes. I'm glad you're back. Um, Margaret said, or Deb says, Margaret tried to show some compassion in last night's episode, but why is production swaying the narrative? She's rotten, and this is a fake, sympathetic view of her. I know, that's what I'm saying. Margaret almost tricked me last night because for a second I really thought that she was authentic and that she really was being enduring about Lexi and everything like that. But again, now noticing what we're about to read and putting the timeline together, it's important, okay? Because she's using Lexi to make Laura jealous. So she must play these women on each other, because again, Margaret started out with three women, but a text message. So it wasn't a text message, it was a picture of a screenshot of a text message that was allegedly between Margaret, Lexi, and MG about the whole Chris making out thing, right? So when that transpired, Margaret made that other assistant hit the road, and she had worked for Margaret for 7 years, and she was like on a work visa or something. Now she's back in Canada. Margaret just cut her all the effing way off, like, done. And then, now Laura Lee is trying out for the show, and Laura Lee is under the impression that Margaret is her dear family friend who would, of course, want to see her get on the show because it would elevate her and the opportunities it would bring, and because they're friends and it could be fun. But obviously, Margaret doesn't trust her or trust herself, whatever the case may be. And she didn't want Laura to get on the show, but she didn't tell Laura that. She still made it seem like, oh, yeah, I'm rooting for you, sister. Let's get you on the show, yada, yada, yada. So, and this time, this is like back and forth. And then by the time Christmas comes around, a lot of what we read in here about how Margaret told Lexi, "You're our family. We love you. You're, we don't pick family. You're our extended family. Like, live here. You've been here with me through my divorce, through my business." And she does all of this. Now, listen to all of this, because this is exactly what she did to Laura. Okay. She says, um, Margaret Joseph considers Lexi Doll her sister. While several viewers claim Margaret needs a new creative director, she seems perfectly content with Lexi. On their respective Instagram pages, fans can see multiple photos of Lexi spending time with Margaret's family. Lexi thanked Margaret for hosting her 41st birthday party in one post, which occurred on Christmas Day in 2021. So as we were reading this together as a class, because I'm your teacher, um, because I'm like the banker in Monopoly, so I'm all-time teacher. And so I said, I wonder if Christmas 2021 is the Christmas that Margaret shunned Laura Lee, because we know that there was some sort of bond between them because they were family, and she had like told Laura, like, as long as you're friends with me, like, you will always have someone on Christmas. You're part of our family. We love you and your husband. And then when Christmas came around, after she had the 2 interviews with Bravo, um, she didn't invite Laura to Christmas. And instead of inviting Laura to Christmas, she posted photos of Lexi on Christmas Day celebrating her 41st birthday. Margaret threw her a huge party. And then Margaret puts it all over her timeline. And then she calls Lexi her ride or die before the party. Margaret expressed her appreciation for Lexi's role in her life. Quote, Lexi, who works with me, is like my sister, she told them. Lexi is like Joe's daughter. She's like my sister. We are together all the time, and we have a very extended family. Lexi proved Margaret's statement true in a heartfelt Instagram message in honor of Joe on his birthday. In a carousel, she shared snaps of herself and Joe smugging at her wedding. Then she posted photos of him playing with her 3-year-old son, Nino. Lexi shared how grateful she was to have met Joe through Margaret in the caption and the tribute posted below. Quote, happiest of birthdays to the best of the best. Can I do my English accent? I can only do a Southern accent. Happy birthdays to the best of the best, the realest of them all, honorary father, and the best grandpa ever, she wrote. You have been there for me through everything. We share so many special memories. The most amazing father figure, and I'm so grateful for you always. Love you beyond words. XOXO. What do you guys think about that? I mean, seriously, that's kind of messed up. You dog your best friend of like 30 years that you spent Christmas with for 30 years. You dog her by like not inviting her. And then instead you post all over your timeline, all over Lexi's timeline, which you know she's going to see. It's Christmas time. People are scrolling on Instagram, and talks about how Lexi is just like her sister. They are the tightest they could ever be. And yeah, like crazy to me, because that's how Margaret works. I mean, I feel like Ray Charles could see that. I'm not being mean, but like, this is what she does. This is why she has these loyal friends. This is why she has people around her. They're only yes people. Look at Jen Fessler. Jen Fessler's married to an attorney. She's educated. She has money. She has an opinion. She went and got her face done, her nails done, her hair done, her ass done, whatever. She looks amazing. But you know that woman won't speak an ill word on Margaret, even if it is her damn opinion. Why? Why? You're a grown woman. Your husband's an attorney. You're smart. You're educated. You're privileged. Why wouldn't you speak? Because your loyalty runs that deep to this woman, because she knows what your wound is, like whatever. Maybe Jen Fessler like don't have a sister or something, so she comes in and, oh Jen, I'll be your sister for life, yada yada yada, and does the same thing that she does to Lexi, that she did to Laura Lee. JoJo, I love JoJo. So Lexi from Kentucky now. Absolutely, she is. When I quote her, I'm going to quote her with a Southern accent from now on because I like my Southern accent. You're too funny, JoJo. For Marge to do all that for Laura just shows what a vindictive snake Marge is. Probably why her kids can't stand her. Exactly right. They were even upset about a post she made about, I don't know if it was like her ex-husband's new wife that had died. And people were like close people to the family were upset about it because she had wrote that they had correspondence or something that the family didn't believe actually happened. So um, yeah, I don't know. I just think that she definitely manipulated Laura. And I think when it came down to it, she definitely screwed her on purpose. She did not want that woman coming on the show at all. And if you guys remember, since we were talking about addiction earlier, this is a great time to point out the fact that Laura Lee's husband is in recovery. And if you guys know anything about AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, you can choose to be anonymous if you want. You don't have to. But every so many months, they consider the newcomer the most important person in the room. And every 30, 60, 90, however many days, you get a coin recognizing those are how many days you've been sober from alcohol or your drug of choice or whatever your preference is. And so Laura Lee's husband posted, it was like a 7-year coin from AA on Twitter and like wrote like a little thing about like I'm 7 years clean, thanks to the program, thanks to my sponsor, to my higher power. And it was a nice post. And do you guys know what MJ did? She like went on there and called him an alcoholic and a drug addict. Basically, he was worthless. What a piece of crap. And I talked to Laura about this because I was very interested in it just because of, everything that I've been through. And I work with a lot of people with mental health and recovery. So I really wanted to like hear her take on it. And like she said, they were just in such shock. They couldn't even believe that she had done that because, she's been good friends with them for years and years. So she understands like the battle and the issues from the alcohol and everything that, had transpired before he stopped drinking. And so they were really, confused, even maybe like they didn't understand why she would say that. But to me that stuck with me because I'm like, wow, that's a really shitty thing to do. It's like, it's yeah, it's pretty shitty. It's just like calling Jennifer Aiden a raging drug addict when she has kids in school. Like, come on. You're a smart woman, Margaret. Like, you're not stupid. Margaret's son and stepkids don't talk to her except for one stepkid. Well, sometimes you have to look at you have to discern people, the fruit of the spirit. Like, you got to look at like the people you can figure somebody out by looking around them. Like, Jersey Girl says, don't know if you've seen it, but I was saying my friend seen Marge at her plastic surgeon's office and not sure what she was there for. Well, that's interesting. I mean, she definitely has had a facelift. She obviously says that she looks good. She definitely has improved, but her dress at the reunion was too young for her. I would have think Melissa would have looked nicer in that dress than her, just because, or even I would have liked to have seen Margaret and Jennifer swap. Vengeance is my slayeth the Marge. News flash Marge, you ain't God. Congratulations, Jersey girl. Yes, see, congratulations. She just got her 1 year. That's amazing. So again, in AA, we know that the newest person is the most important person because it gets easier the longer you're sober. So 1 year is a really great thing. I'm proud of you. Yo-Yo says, Angel, as Laura is more interested than Marge told her to cut her hair short or go blonde. Oh my gosh. Jojo says, congratulations. We all love Jojo. She's super sweet. Crystal, lower than low to talk crap about someone's recovery and lying about it to boot. I completely agree. Oh, Jojo said she's 14 years. I love that. See, guys? See? There was even a complaint by the over aggressive ladies. Teresa gets along with Louis' family. Poor Melissa. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, look at the people that are in recovery. Like, recovery is everywhere. And for Margaret to say that to this man, like, that's really shitty. And to do it online, it wasn't like she said it behind his back. It's not like she DM'd, she like tweeted it. And that's why I'm like, you're the reason there's a stigma on people, and you're the reason people can't get a second chance. You're the reason people can't catch a break. You're the person that doesn't give somebody a second chance. If you're out here calling people felons and drug addicts, raging drug addicts, like you're not you're sick and suffering just in a different way. You have all the character defects of an alcoholic, you just don't drink. Go work the 12 steps and come back and talk to me. Moving on. I only have 10% battery, so make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribe to my channel, turning notifications on. Did you all see the after show? Margaret said Louis' sister treated her bad because of the things she said about Louis. Good. That's because Louis' dad's in recovery. Margaret, you effing. Yes, Louis dad's in recovery. He's had like 10 years. He just like stopped drinking when he was 60. I don't think he had any like severe, extreme alcohol blackout situations. I just think that maybe he felt like he drank too much. And so when he turned 60, he quit drinking. He hasn't drank since. Yeah, Margaret. It's a real asshole thing to do, to go around talking bad about people in the recovery community and the mental health, because let me tell you something, it affects about everyone. And she did go on Bravo and Blaze. My friend Jenny, I like her a lot. She did go on her show, I think, just to try to like rectify what she said about Jennifer and say like she didn't think there was anything wrong with pot. Well, I mean, and then we seen the episode, all the men come to her house and they're all taking marijuana products and it's fine then. So I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that. And I'm glad that we got to call Laura Lee and clear that up about the December 2021 situation, and really realize what Margaret does behind the scenes to people that we don't even realize. So we had no idea that even happened. I didn't know that happened, but it makes sense. I mean, how shitty would you feel if you had a friend of like 40 years and like you have a falling out and you don't spend a holiday that you normally spend together all the time, and then they're on Instagram posting pictures of the other girl that they're friends with and talking about how amazing that friend is and how they're their ride or die and yada yada yada, like basically saying you're out, she's in. I mean, that's what she was saying without saying it. Like, I don't need you, I got Lexi in her British accent. I do think there's something weird though too, guys. I'm sorry. I only have 10% battery, and that's probably a good thing because I am gonna start my mouth. I'm gonna start all my opinions are gonna start coming out. So it's probably a good thing. Jersey girl, that's exactly right. She's definitely a dry drunk. Marge is a dry drunk. She needs to go work the 12 steps. She has all of the character defects of an alcoholic. She just doesn't drink. That's a real thing, guys. Very, very real thing. Resentment, secrets, that shit keeps you sick. Exactly. Except Joe invited everyone over to smoke weed. Exactly. I almost think that they did that on purpose. That Joe B. hosted that on purpose because Margaret knew that they were going to run her calling Jennifer a raging drug addict. Margaret needs her skin tightened like Dolo did. Dolo looks amazing. Okay, mama, are you serious? Oh my God, where'd they go? She's so freaking staged. Who do they think they're fooling? It's bad, guys. It is bad. Margaret's miserable. I don't think she's happy at all, y'all, because she's so deathly jealous of Teresa and she makes up stuff about Louis. And I swear she's behind all those blogs that come out after Louis. I agree. Marge and Mel have daddy issues and mommy issues and take them out on each other. Yeah, definitely. Mark definitely has some issues because of her mother. You can see that. But at the same time, like, you need to deal with those and move on with your life. And I think that, I don't know, she's sick in her own way. She's very sick and she is unhappy and she's suffering in debt. She's in debt out to her neck. They owe everybody. They have tons of freaking lawsuits. Like, get your life together. Like, I don't understand. It's not even like they're lavishly spending, so that makes it even worse. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you're like literally on the Housewives, you should have every hustle in the world going. It's like I would be slapping my brand on everything that it would stick to see like what my niche is, and then I would roll with it because I don't know. I just think that they don't seem very ambitious. Like we'll see MG on her uh Instagram selling us a little face scrubber. It's like $3 from the dollar store, trust me. Um yeah, so I don't know, guys. Margaret has predatory behavior worse than Renna. She's like Renna putting down people in recovery. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I don't know. Yeah, guys, I'd love to catch you live too. It's my favorite time. That's why I tell you guys I'm always bringing you the tea through YouTube because you guys are my favorite. I feel like my subscribers, you guys stick by me, you subscribe. If you have your notifications on, then you guys deserve to hear the tea first, okay? So I take all of my tea to YouTube first, and then I take it to the rest of my platforms. If you want to share the tea that I gave you, I love that so much. Please do. But if you give it to other podcasters, just make sure you throw in where you found it, okay? And if you don't, that's okay. But it's just a little bit of courtesy sometimes if you include where you got it and what happened. And we did call Laura Lee Jensen live. We had to start a new live when we called her, but we did call her and confirm the information that we needed because that's the kind of podcaster, blogger that I am. I can call my sources anytime, noon, day, or night. They're going to answer me, and I'm going to be able to get you guys the information that you need as long as I have the right contact. So don't let these other sites and bloggers and people be selling you these blind items that are generic that they sent themselves. Okay. I'm not going to give you guys everything that people send me. It's my job to vet the DMs and vet the tea and vet the information that people send me or provide for me. I look into it, I dig, I get the receipts, and then I bring it to you. Okay. Most of my receipts you'll be finding in the community tab on YouTube. They didn't used to have that. So a lot of my original receipts you would find on Instagram under my reels. You can find me on Instagram, HW Historian. I have a podcast now. It's called Housewives and Headlines with Krista Marie, Reality Tea. And then Twitter, house HW historian _1, getting together my website as well. So hopefully we can get some stuff going. I want to hear from you guys. I would love it if I post my email address. Even I think sometimes if people are a little bit more comfortable via emailing versus texting or comments. Like I would love to hear from you guys if you guys have any like life issues or things or subjects that you would like to hear more about. I want to kind of create a second genre, if you will, of things that are interesting. So I'm kind of trying a couple of different things out. So can you put your podcast on the chat? I don't know if I could or not. I'll have to see if I can do that because it's Krista Marie and we have it on every platform, Cancer. So you should be able to get it for free because it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's literally on every single platform that you can find. Hold on one second. It's called Housewives and Headlines, and we just kind of talk. It's relaxed, and it's relaxed talk and more about what's just kind of going on that week in Housewives. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we would love to hear more from you guys, your feedback back on that as well. It's everywhere, guys. It really is. It's on Spotify, Amazon, Buzzsprout, Apple, but I will see if I can get it uploaded to YouTube for you guys. I can do that. No problem. We'll figure it out. But until then, guys, I hope that you have a great day and make sure that you leave some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are, and we will talk soon. Bye, guys.